All right. Hi.
Hello.
How are you? Well, I know you're not doing very well, but can you tell us who you are and what's your story?
Well, my name is Anwar Nillufary. I'm a recognized refugee and a civil engineer who has been held hostage in Greece against my will for now nearly 6 years. Now I'm conducting this interview with you on my protest site, hunger strike actually, day 57th of my second hunger strike here at the doorsteps of the office of the United Nations Refugee Agency, UNHCR. That's briefly.
So, okay, so you are right now in the street. You're in front of United States Refugee Agency in Greece, in Athens, right? And you've been, yep.
United Nations Refugee Agency. You said United States.
No, sorry, sorry, I said, sorry, misspoke. United Nations Refugee Agency, sorry. That was UN. Okay, so why are you there and why are you on a hunger strike?
Well, as I said, I'm a recognized refugee, which means a beneficiary of international protection. I had an illegal deportation from Sweden back to this country in September 2015. And they said my deportation was on the grounds of the Dublin regulations, which was completely false because at the time Greece was not abiding by those regulations. And they sent me exactly at the time when all the borders were open and people could freely leave this country and reach other European countries, specifically Germany, to seek asylum there. But I don't know, for some reasons, the Swedish migration agency sent me back exactly at that time, which was...
And you're an Iranian refugee, right? And when did you leave Iran?
I left Iran in 2005. I generally don't like to call myself an Iranian because now I live half of my life in exile, and I'm a Kurdish, actually. Iran has never been a country for me, and if Iran was a country, I wouldn't ever be in a situation like this. So I generally say I'm a stateless person because I don't really recognize Iran to be my country.
Why did you leave? Why did you leave Iran?
Due to political and religious beliefs that are opposed to the Iranian Islamic Republic.
Right. And so you have been a refugee for most of your life then, right?
Yes, you could say almost half of my life, yes.
Okay, so and you've been in Greece for the past 6 years, and now you've been on hunger strike for how many days?
This is second time that I'm on hunger strike here. This is now, I'm now on day 57th, actually. And I've been on protest here since March 21st, 2017. I had a tent here. If you see this tree behind me, there is another one over there. My tent was there since March 21st, 2017. They destroyed my tent 5 times. You know, they called it, police, I think, because here they call the police for me and police takes me to the detention. They keep me there in detention for several hours. Each time is different, generally 3 hours, but there are times that is more than 3 hours. And when they release me, I come back here and I don't find my shelter. It's completely gone. They have done this so far 5 times. Yeah.
Okay,
and I was also on hunger strike in 2017 for 64 days.
Okay, and how's your health right now? Like I don't know if you saw, but I showed one of your pictures, and here, I'll show you this one. Are you okay? Like it seems like do you need medical attention right now because of your hunger strike?
Well, yes, certainly I need medical attention. I need legal aid. I mean, it's clear that I need all those, but I mean, they are not offering any help. That's the big issue here. I can ask that I need help. I can ask for medical aid, but I can provide it to to myself. I mean, there are other people who claim to be providing those services to refugees, and I have reached out to all of them, and yet I don't see any of those people coming here or offering any of those services for me. For example, Medicines Without Borders, Doctors Without Borders, MSF, their office is 100 meters away from the UNHCR's office. And they are well aware of my hunger strike here, my protest here for over past 40 months. Now my second hunger strike, day 57, they won't even send one doctor to do a general checkup for me. 100 meters, what is the difficult? Why can't they do it? It's very strange. I cannot say why. Why are they doing this? There is something going on behind the scenes.
Okay, why are you, so you're on strike because why are you protesting?
Yeah, well, as I said, I was illegally sent back to this country in 2015. In 2014, they misled me here in this country. They told me because I didn't want to go to the other European countries, say through illegal means. So I tried to find a legal channel, which they said I had to, approach asylum authorities here, introduce myself here, give a case here, and then if admitted, they are going to issue documents for me. And with those documents, I will be able to leave Greece legally and go wherever I wanted to settle in Europe and stay there permanently. But it turned out that which I did. I mean, I stayed here for about 10 months, and then I got papers, and then I went to Sweden, and Sweden kept me in a refugee camp for 2 months, and then sent me to a deportation camp, and they kept me there for another month. So overall, they kept me 3 months in the refugee camps, and then they sent me back here, which I explained at what time they sent me back. And clearly, I have no protection, no support, nothing in this country. Now I'm also undocumented for over 30 months. The reason I'm on protest and hunger strike here is lack of protection, lack of any program in this country for refugees. They are just playing with our lives. So I'm seeking to be resettled in another country outside the European Union, namely Canada, United States, or Australia, which is only possible through the UNHCR's Refugee Resettlement Program, which is why I'm here. And another reason is that due to the same regulations that the Sweden used to deport me back to this country, now I cannot seek asylum in any other European country, same Dublin regulations. So for me, it would only be my resettlement.
You tried to do it through legal means, but they basically closed all the avenues that you could have taken to get asylum through legal means. Is that what you're saying? Like they're not providing you with any options for you to be able to move forward with your asylum case. Is that what you're saying?
I gave an asylum case in Greece in 2014. That's what they said, and that's what I did. And I was admitted. My asylum was accepted. I got papers, refugee status, and travel document. And with those documents, I was able to leave Greece and reach Sweden. The reason I went to UNHCR in 2014, as I said, was because I didn't want to pay people smugglers to reach other European countries. I didn't want to do it through irregular means. Mm-hmm. Because I came to this country in 2014 from Turkey to Greece by paying people smugglers, by getting into a boat. Our journey took 12 hours when the smuggler told us it will maximum take half an hour or 1 hour. So 12 hours we were on the agency. We were all disappointed. We were all lost hope in life and future. We were all convinced that we are not going to make it, that we are going to die. But I don't know, somehow we made it to the land. So that experience made me to, was extremely difficult for me. And I reached a conclusion that finding a legal way and legal channel will always be much better than dealing with people smugglers and risking my life like that. But now,
So right now, but now you have a legal status in Greece, right? Like, can't you just stay in Greece?
currently, no. Currently, my status is not clear because the documents they gave me was only valid for 3 years. So it was expired on March 19, 2018. So ever since I am undocumented, and my protest has begun 1 year before prior
So what do they
to.
want you to do? Like, what do they want you to do?
Well, nothing. I think they want to push me to stay here. It's not clear, really. They want me to suffer. They want to torture me. They want to torment me because this is not a solution for anyone in anywhere. They even took me.
You're homeless right now? Are you homeless right now?
Well, basically, you could say that. Basically.
Is that like you're right now in the street? Is that where you sleep?
Yes. I'm not accommodated anywhere. They haven't offered me any support. I clarified this.
How do you get food? Like, are you okay? Like, where do you get? How are you able to survive right now?
Well, it's now been 6 years that I'm on this continent, and if so far I have been able to survive, is only because I had some savings from the past, because as I said, I'm a civil engineer. So I was working in a construction company, in international construction company in northern Iraq. So I had some savings there. And up to this day, if I was able to survive, it was only because of my own savings, not that.
In northern Iraq, so you're an educated person, and you were working in northern Iraq as an engineer. Northern Iraq, you said?
Yes, true. Kurdistan region.
Kurdistan region. Okay. And okay, so and nobody is helping you. There's no institutions, no organizations helping you.
Well, there are institutions and organizations. For instance, there are many refugees who have been, or asylum seekers who have been accommodated or given, cash card monthly allowance. But when it comes to my case, everything's goes in a different direction. I have reached out to all of these NGOs, all these organizations, in person, in writing, via phone calls. For me, nothing, which is very, very irregular, strange. For me, they are just calling the police. That's what they are doing. So even here, I can't enter.
Why is your case being treated differently than all these other refugees?
Well, that's a question that I also looking to find an answer for, because I can't answer this question because I don't know really why are they treating me like this.
How is it that you've been in this limbo for 6 years and you still don't know what your status is after 6 years?
Yeah, true. That's not my fault, because it's every time I try to seek information, inquire about the status of my request, because I'm here asking for resettlement. As I said, I have addressed this organization officially via writing. They are not answering, and they are not explaining if I have a case with them, if they are trying to resolve this problem or not, if there is somebody who has been assigned to my case, and if there is really, then they should provide me with the contact details, email address, phone number, name. Nothing. I have inquired about this dozens and thousands of times, yet they don't answer me. They don't give me an explanation. They are not replying to my emails. They are when I call them, they recognize my voice, and they hang up the phone on me. I mean, what else I can do? Every time I try to reach their office in person, which is right now is there. I mean, if you can see it, that's UNHCR.
Can you show us again?
Yes, that's UNHCR over there, and that's, you see the logo, and that's the door. Oh, okay. And that's the stairs. Every time.
That's basically United Nations Refugee Center, right?
Refugee Agency, their main office. Yes.
In Athens.
And every time, In Athens, Greece, yes. And every time I try to get, they won't let me inside the building. And if I want to go and reach this office in person, they close the doors and they call the police. And for this, I have been taken to the court 23 times only for trying to reach the UNHCR office in person and to inquire about my status, to find out if I have a case here or not. The things that I explained earlier, they even took me to prison 5 times to prison for what? I mean, for what? I mean, yes, I mean, every time as I say, I tried many times, and then
what were the charges?
They issued an order from a court that I have to keep 10-meter distance from the main door, and I shouldn't be staying in front of the door. But every time I get breach this 10-meter order or get close to the door, and it doesn't matter if I stay there or not, they just use this as an excuse to take me to the court and charge me for breaching this 10-meter order. 10-meter distance.
What happens if you go back to Iran? What happens to you if you go to Iran?
Well, as I said, obviously, I'm a political and religious refugee, a beneficiary of international protection in exile for over 15 years now.
What kind of religious and political views?
Well, I'm not a religious person, so many people call it atheism. Other people, I don't know. I myself call it truth seeker. So,
so you had anti-Islamic views that you were open about, and that's why you had to leave.
And the political regarding the Kurdish issues.
Oh yeah, the Kurdish autonomy. You were requiring that, like, that's what you were fighting for as well?
Yes, because our people, Kurdish people, 40 million in the Middle East, our land is being occupied by other countries, 4 countries, Turkey, Iran, Syria, and Iraq. We are 40 million. We want to have our land and back to ourselves. We want our freedom and our independence. We want our culture, and we want our country in all this.
So you were outspoken about both your atheism and your political activism regarding Turkish and Kurdish independence, right? Those are the 2 things that, and those are, so that you had a very legitimate case for being a refugee, and how can people help?
Well, I mean, it depends really. It depends on the people and their abilities, their social status, and their geographical location. So I can't really say for sure how they can help. For example, if they can be like a political push, they could push United Nations Refugee Agency to give an answer to this case. Why aren't they not answering me? If they are, for example, in United States or in Canada or in Australia, they can ask their government to be of assistance to me, to grant me asylum or offer me resettlement in their country. Alternatively, they could, for example, for Canada, they could gather some people to volunteer and sponsor me through the Group 5 sponsorship process to help me, be resettled to Canada. Which again, even if we find these 5 volunteers, we again still need UNHCR to refer my case for resettlement to Canada. And aside all of those, I need publicity because really they are trying to silence my voice. And this phone that I am now talking with you, some lady brought, was kind, and from the kindness of her own heart brought it for me. Otherwise, I mean, I wouldn't even use the same photos. One of those photos that you showed, I took with her help. Otherwise, I mean, I might have died of hunger here, and nobody might have known about it, because the police took all my phones 3 times, and they also broke one of my phones once.
They broke your phone?
Yes, and took 3 of them. Actually stole one of the phones, confiscated another one. Like they made it like legal, but because they stole one of my phones and I submitted a complaint to the Greek ombudsman for stealing my phone, the next time they made it look like they are taking it from me like illegally, so confiscated it through the court procedure. Another time they broke it. Yes.
And how did you get internet right now on your phone?
Well, the same phone that I mentioned you, this phone that this lady brought.
Terme? Did Terme get internet on your phone?
No, not Terme. She's a Greek citizen. I don't know. One night she had seen me here accidentally. And the day after, obviously, she informed some journalists to come here and have an interview, which they did. And ever since she is coming, visiting me, and they asked me what I needed. I asked them that I need a phone urgently, immediately. And they helped, brought me this phone with internet and SIM card, everything.
To give you a voice, right? So now you have a voice.
Yes, I mean, after I got this phone, I was able to post this, my first post after, I don't know, 45 days on, being away from doing any social activities. And after I posted this one on my Facebook page, then Arash knew about me, other people knew about me. And after that, I mean, my story went out. Otherwise, I mean, I would have died here, really.
And is there something that we could link in the description of this interview, so that if people want to reach out to you or to share your story or contact you in any ways, like what should I link in the description?
Well, if you do so, I really appreciate it. And you could link my Facebook page. If you want, yes, I could send it to you, my Twitter account or Instagram, even YouTube channel. They could, if they are interested, they could even study, educate themselves, learn about this case, because there are too much materials there, which I cannot explain everything to them right now or to you, because I have been also attacked by police, by guards here in front of the UNHCR, only because of trying to reach this organization, which is completely illegal what they are doing. They can, for example, find all these videos on my YouTube channel or my Facebook page. There are instances, for example, I have been visiting the minister's office, inquiring about my status, asking for a response. I went to the Prime Minister's office, which is video recorded. I've been there to the High European Commission's office based in Athens. I mean, I've been to many places. I've been to the Canadian embassies many times, to the US embassy a few times, to the Australian embassy. I have recorded all of these, and our public video record, and public on YouTube channel and Facebook page. They could go and see, they could participate in, spreading the word, comment, express themselves. This is not acceptable what they are doing to me, a person on the pavement for over 40 months. Why? Give an answer. If they cannot, I'm asking the responsible party, United Nations Refugee Agency, it is their job to do this. Refugee resettlement, repatriation, integration. Repatriation in my case is not possible. Integration in my case is not possible. The only way for me now is a durable solution. Another country which is called resettlement, which is only possible through UNHCR, and it is their job and they must do it. If they cannot do it from this office for any reason, let's say for a political reason, which it really looks like they have made my case a political one, They could refer my case to another UNHCR office in another
How is it
country.
political? How is your case political? They made it political.
How is it not political? A person is here for this long, and nobody talks about it. They are not giving
But so you're saying there's some
any
internal
information.
politics? There's some internal politics that they have against your case? That's what you're saying?
Yes, but I mean, behind the scenes, it's not, I can't see it really. I mean, I can't show you the proof, but from the sequence of the events that are happening here, it is very clear that it has turned it into a political case. They even took me to a deportation camp in 2018, but then they released me without even giving any solution or anything. Just to come back here. Why did they release me? Why did they took me to a deportation camp in the first place? Why are they taking me to prison just because I'm inquiring about my status of my case, my request to this organization? Why are they, for instance, taking me to the court so many times? Why aren't they giving me any legal advice or providing me with a lawyer? Why aren't they sending me medical aid? Which this organization itself has to send medical aid to do checkups for me regularly. Why nobody coming out? 55 and 57 days now, second time hunger strike. Nothing. What is this?
So I have a question. Do you, because the audience that are going to be watching this, we're an atheist organization, so a lot of the people, most of the people who are going to be watching this and listening to what you have to say, they're mostly atheists, right? And I know you say other people will describe you as an atheist, you call yourself a truth seeker, but I mean, technically, you are an atheist based on what you've told me, right? But do you think that if you were like a Christian refugee, or I don't know, a Jewish refugee, do you think that there would be a lot more help out here for you right now compared to, do you think like, because one thing that we tell our audience is that we atheists, they're not there to support each other as much as Muslims or Christians or Jews are there for each other. And part of me talking to you and trying to give you a voice is to fix the vacuum, the fact that we are not, there's this gap here that needs to be filled. There's this demand that other atheists are not responding to. Do you think that if you were a Christian, like let's say for example you were a Christian refugee, you are an ex-Muslim Christian who had to leave Iran because he converted from Islam to Christianity, in that case, do you think there would be like churches and other Christians here for you, instead of just if you weren't an atheist?
I don't think so.
Why?
But it might have. I mean, I can't say for certain, but as I said, yes, but clearly, I mean, they turn this into a political issue, so it doesn't matter if they are an atheist or Christian or Muslims.
Okay.
So if they wanted to come, they would have come, but now nobody comes because, I mean, really.
Yeah. No, I understand. I just wanted to know if you think that if you would belong to other groups, your case would have been gotten more
treated
attention.
Differently. Well, I cannot say for certain, but
you can't say for certain. Well, I appreciate your honesty. Yes. But either way, whether you would have gotten more attention or not, I do think that we need to be there for each other. So that's why I'm trying to see what we can do for you, right? Before, I wanted to actually get you to like show us around a little bit, but before I ask you for that, do you mind telling me what questions you wanted me to ask that I haven't asked? Like, is there anything that you were hoping that we get you to talk about, but you didn't get a chance to talk about yet?
Well, I think you covered all the aspects of the issue. I think. Okay. And we also said people, if they like to know more about it, they can refer to my social media
Yes, please. People, check in the description. I'm going to link to your Facebook. I'm going to link to your Twitter, and I'm also going to link to your YouTube channel. Please, guys, go link and check in the description. And maybe people could share this video if they want to bring more attention to it, or anything that you tell them you think is more important. You can let them know on your own account that they could share that. And you basically will keep people updated on your situation. And the call to action is that if people have any contacts or any resources or anybody that could fix your situation, if they have any contacts, please do that. But if you don't have any resources, or if you don't have any contacts, just make sure that you keep that attention on your case. Please share the story and make more people know about the fact that you need help. So that at some point, I'm hoping somebody with the right resources will be able to, especially legal resources, right? Would you say that would be the most important thing that you read right now, like legal help?
That's true. And publicity in the international media, English international media, because they haven't spoken about this case in none of them actually. Why?
Right.
This is Europe. Why are they covering this up? They have to speak. There is an issue here, and they have to talk about it. They have to write about it. They have to make reports. Why aren't they coming? So far, only my situation has been, this hunger strike actually has been gotten some media coverage from Persian media and one Kurdish media. Other than that, there hasn't been any other media coverage. And now, thanks to you, you are the only English channel, but you are also somehow Persian.
Well, I'm Persian, but our audience are not Persian, right? Our audience are English speaking. So,
yes. So if they know somebody from the international media, for example, in wherever they are residing, Guardian, Independence, BBC News, CNN, all these media, please tell them to reach out. If they are, and if they themselves are journalists, reporters, please reach out to me. They can find all my contact details on my Facebook page, WhatsApp number, email address, everything.
Okay. So
I need publicity as much as possible. Thank you.
So if you know a reporter or a journalist or somebody who does know a reporter or a journalist, please send them this video and tell them that this is something that they need to cover. Do you mind actually showing us around, like where you are and what your situation is? I saw you had a sign. Do you mind showing us that?
Certainly. Well, you have been seeing me now. This is one of my signs. So let me turn this camera if I can turn it.
Okay.
Yes, now you can see the other side. This is my board. Here you can see I have marked the number of the days that I'm on hunger strike here. This is one of my boards that I have here. There is another sign here. This one that I showed you is addressed to UNHCR. And I have another one here, which is addressed to the civilians, regular people who pass by from here. I have listed a list of things they could do to help me out here. For example, as you can see here is the first one, tell the press and media. And other things, I don't know, maybe they can read it later for themselves. And here is the UNHCR's office, as I showed you earlier. And that's the logo of the organization. They are residing in the first and the second floor. That's the door. And this is one of the trees, which is here. And it's basically on the pavement. That's another tree. My shelter was there. My tent was there for the past 40 months. And yeah, that's it. During the day, which is there is a shade, some shade here. I will be sitting here, and when at the midnight I will be moving over there, over this corner, and I will be sitting there. Now one of the guys is here. He is also a refugee, looking after me. So because they are worried, something might happen to me at any moment. So.
Okay.
That's around. Was it enough? I can show you more if you want.
No, I think unless you think there's something important other than that, you could. That's good then. But do you mind if are you comfortable with me referring to you as like in the title of this video as a Kurdish atheist refugee? Is that like, I know, is that accurate? I just
It's
want to make
okay.
sure.
You could say Kurdish refugee atheist who call himself a truth seeker. I mean, you could say that.
Okay.
So you know,
Okay, good.
because
Just wanted to make clear.
this is a term that many people produce a bad meaning in the mind of many people, even though it's not really bad.
Not with our audience. With our audience, that's not a bad
Yes, I
meaning.
understand.
Yeah. Okay, so that's why you say you don't use that label, because you think that other people will see it as a negative thing?
Yes, that's exactly why. Because I mean, truth seeker. Because at the end, really, we are thinking to find the truth.
Right.
As
Okay.
Bill Maher says, maybe you know him. If God's now, we are not denying the God, and we are not accepting that there is a God. But if one day, at some point of history, God comes down from the heaven to the earth and visits us, and we can acknowledge him. Here you are. Where were you? Nice to meet you.
Okay. Yes. Okay. You're right. Okay. Yes, exactly. Yeah, but don't worry. With our audience, that's not a negative word. That's a positive term. Okay. So we.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. But anyways, I'm gonna let you go. Again, thank you for your time. I really, really hope that you get what you need and you get all the resources and the help that you deserve. So, and again, I'm really sorry for what you're going through, and I hope it changes soon. Again, I can't believe you're going through this for this long, and I wish you the best. I hope we'll see what we can do to bring more attention to your case.
Thank you very much for this time, and thank you to all your audience, and I will look forward to your solidarity and support in whatever ways possible. Have a good day, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right.